Okay, we are live. If nothing else, this week has taught me perseverance. I've had more tech difficulties this week than I have ever had in my life. So today is kickoff. Yes, day one of Design the Life You Love. And if you are just tuning in and you don't know what this is, basically I am hosting a 5-day free workshop called Design the Life You Love. And basically today, the topic of the day is to identify our invisible time sucks. So each day I'm going to have a topic of the day. And then by the end of the week, you will learn how to save time in your day. You will learn how to infuse your passions into your everyday. And ultimately, you're going to leave this workshop with some great tools that will help you through your life to reach your goals. And I'm going to talk about how to bulletproof your goals so that you actually accomplish them. Because goals are good, but if we don't accomplish them, they're not not very valuable. So anyway, so today, time sucks. So what is that? Basically, it's the time that we spend on things that really just kind of consumes our time. So time sucks sounds kind of negative. So there are things that are very visible and people kind of know, like, oh, that's, or there's a kind of a sense of that's a waste of time. And I just want you to know that there's no judgment here. So if you love to do whatever it is and it brings you joy and happiness in your life and fulfillment, keep doing that. But what today's about is more just bringing awareness so that you can make some choices. Because what we found is that there's actually, just to throw a statistic out here, one thing that just really shocked me is that on average, the American, U.S. citizen, not the greater continent, spends an average of 11 hours a day on electronic devices. It's like, wow, that's huge. Okay, so I'm not saying that if that's bringing you joy and that's all you have in your life and you want to do that, to stop doing that. But 11 hours is super. That's a super lot of hours a day, more than we probably mostly sleep. I know it's more than I sleep at night. So anyways, there's visible things like that we take out our phone, we can tangibly see that we are spending a lot of time on that. I want to talk a little bit more about that, but I do want to also bring up invisible time sucks. So these are things that probably you're not really thinking about, that they're consuming your time, because it's such a part of who we are as a society now, and part of our routine and whatever, that we just don't even realize that we're doing it. So visible time sucks. So basically, what are visible time sucks? Well, the obvious, watching TV, the electronic devices, commuting back and forth to work, those things that just take a lot of time, and you don't get that back. So that would be the visible time sucks. The invisible time sucks would be things that, like I said, they're kind of woven through our society that we've taken on. So, it seems one thing that kind of got me to look into this is I actually Googled at one point, why are we so stressed out when we have so many modern conveniences? It doesn't make a lot of logical sense. It's like, we used to have to take a whole day to make a meal, right? So you had to bake your own bread and you had to kill your chickens and all that. So like the whole day was like making your meal. And now we can just pop it in the microwave, right? So why is it that, we have all these modern conveniences, we have phones at our fingertips, whatnot, and yet we just, there's a sense of feeling really stressed out or overwhelmed. And the invisible time sucks, I think, is a big part of that. And when I say that we're gonna, we're talking about managing time, there's things that take our time, but equally they suck our energy. So it's draining. And so I think that's more what maybe we feel when we feel overwhelmed now, even though we have modern conveniences. Yeah, things take our time, but also some of the conveniences save us a lot of time. So if you look at it logically, it's like, it seems like it should be a wash, right? But what happens is all these little insidious things that that we've now taken on in our society, they take a toll on us. They don't give us that rest in our minds. They don't give us some of the satisfaction that we used to have in life. I don't know. I wasn't here at the turn of the century, but I would imagine if you put your whole day into making a meal, there's a lot of pride that comes in that maybe there's a give and take there. So anyway, what are these invisible time sucks? So for instance, I know I'm probably older than a lot of you, but I remember when I grew up in Oregon, and I guess this is still the case in that one state, but people used to pump your own gas. Well, in most states, nobody does that for you. You have to get out of your car and you have to pump your own gas. Well, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but think about all the things that we do now that we didn't used to have to do. So we bag our own groceries. There used to be a guy that would wheel our groceries out to the cart, and now we're taking our own groceries, we're bagging them, we're putting them in there, we're driving the little cart out, we're unloading them, then we're taking the cart back, right? We have to walk it back. And so when you take all those little things, we bus our own tables at restaurants now a lot of times. What else? So anyway, these are just little things that kind of creep. Oh, banking. So you don't have to go to the bank. You can do it online. But then, there's a problem with your checking account. And so then you have to call a customer service agent because you see that, and you go through this maze of, support, tiers of support and outsourcing. And by the time you get to ask your question, you've been on the phone for like 20, 30 minutes. Just trying to ask your question or get the right person, right? So all these things add up. And like I said, they take our time, but they take our energy. So anyway, in your workbook, if you're in the group and you're part of this workshop, in our group, you're gonna find a workbook. I posted that last night, and so in your workbook, you can there's an overview of kind of the lesson today, and then there's an action step for you to take. And what I'd like you to do is to think about in your day your invisible and visible time sucks, those things that take a great deal of your time, and identify them. So just kind of brainstorm that and think about all the things that kind of take your time. And then what I'd like you to do is to share that out, just share a piece of it, whatever you're comfortable with the group, and let us know, what you might want to do about that. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe you really enjoy, whatever those things are. But maybe you want to scale that back a bit to buy yourself some time and energy to focus on other things. We're going to talk later this week all about the other things that we're going to infuse so that our life, is more fulfilled and happier and all that. So, but the first step is kind of looking at what do we spend our time on, right? So it's an awareness thing. What else I want to tell you? Oh, I was going to share an example. This actually wasn't some great thing that I discovered and implemented, but kind of by default, there was a shift in my schedule that happened that freed up about an hour. And what it was, I live right around the corner from my kids' school. So I would, in the morning last 2 years, I would just buzz them around the corner, right? And I'd drop them off. It seems silly to wait at the bus stop and all that. So I would buzz them around the corner, drop them off, and come back. But that buzzing around the corner, I had to sign them in, walk them to and from school. I started chit-chatting with people, other parents, the teachers or whatever while I was there. So that morning buzz and drop them off, and it's literally a quarter mile from my house, ended up taking at least a half an hour each day. Plus I have three small kids. I'm loading in the car, buckling them in, loading them out, getting them out, and just getting them from the house to the car sometimes was a big deal, right? So that saved me, this year, I decided the kids really wanted to ride the bus. Okay, fine. I put them on the bus. It comes about a half hour earlier. So that seems like a pain in the neck, but basically, we just kind of get it together and get them on the bus, right? Because that's D-Day. That's the time that the bus is leaving. So the kids were better about getting ready because they really want to get on the bus. So they get on the bus and they go away to school, and I look at the time like, oh my gosh, it's like, a half hour earlier. Usually I'm still like at the school. I mean, I'm not at the school. I haven't even gotten in my car. But anyway, that saved me a half hour. And then in the evening, it saved me probably a good 20 minutes. Same thing, just being able to, do that. So, that's something that if I looked at my day, I may not have even realized. That would be kind of an invisible time suck that it was taking away from my day. And what a gift. I can tell you that almost hour a day in the morning when I'm just, sipping my coffee and enjoying myself, my kids are happy. They're on the bus. They love riding it. And so it's just kind of a win-win. So anyway, that's kind of what you're looking for, is those things in your schedule that you can shift, that will buy you some time. And I did put out in one email a claim that if you just watch this day and tomorrow, basically you can save yourself between an hour and 11 hours a day. I do have more to say on time sucks, but I think I'm out of time today, so I will save that for tomorrow. So have a great day. If you're in the group, hopefully you got the email. I could not tell at my end, so if you could let me know. If you didn't get it, then I will rewrite it and send it out, because my automation email system is new to me, and of course I didn't put myself in there, my own email, so I can't tell if it's sent or not. And so if you could let me know about that. Get your workbook. It's in the group, and we'll see you tomorrow and see you in the group.